Thank you for clicking on Wednesday's weather for Weather Geeks, my daily web-only in-depth weather video. We have gotten lucky in most spots so far today. There's been lake effect snow that's impacted areas just east of our viewing area, and also some fairly substantial lake bands ongoing right now, a little to the west of our viewing area. Kind of a lull in between in almost the entire WFMJ viewing area at about 2 o'clock as I record this. This is a pretty substantial snow band around Akron. Visibility has been greatly reduced over there, and it does extend down towards Carroll County, down towards the Weirton, Steubenville area, and there is a little bit of snow in Columbiana County, and then a more significant band also out east of I-79 towards Oil City and Clarion. They've had problems with snow squalls, no surprise, on Interstate 80 today with reductions in speed. Not only on I-79, but on I-80 as well, as you go out through the mountainous terrain in west central parts of PA. But again, not much in the way of accumulation in our viewing area. First thing this morning, a couple of inches up in northern Trumbull, some candy coatings, half an inch in some other spots, but so far so good. But one thing for sure, we're not getting away unscathed, that is, when it comes to the temperature and the wind. These are the actual temperatures at just before 2 o'clock, 9 in Youngstown, 10 in Newcastle, 10 or 11 pretty common throughout the region, and check out the wind chills. -11 is what it feels like in Youngstown right now. -8 Newcastle, -7 in Ravenna, 10 below zero in Akron. It's a day to have all the layers, and people like me to remind everyone about pets. I like to think it's kind of a common sense, and I don't necessarily have to remind you all the time. Everybody who lives here has been through many winters, but again, common sense. Your dog needs to relieve itself, make sure that he or she is not out for very long, because frostbite can affect animals as well. Elsewhere across the region, of course, a lot of clouds, a lot of cold temperatures. I showed on social media this morning the extreme cold up in Quebec, where it was as cold as 50 below this morning. Now it's warmed up to 26, 27 degrees below zero out east of Hudson Bay. Thankfully, not a lot of people live up there. Lots of cold on the weather map across the country today, east of the Rockies. Still below zero out in parts of the Midwest. The colder than average temperatures extend down into parts of the deep south as well. All right, so are we going to stay lucky? Are we going to continue missing out on the lake effect for the rest of the day? This is a little bit of a tricky call, as it often is with lake effect. I do want to draw your attention to the latest high-resolution rapid refresh model, the HRR. If you are a regular viewer of these videos, you've heard me refer to this from time to time. All right, here's the simulated radar, excuse me, right now. In other words, what it thinks the radar looks like as I record this at roughly 2 p.m. This afternoon. It is placing that snow squall pretty well out here, and also has the squall to the west. So it's got a pretty good handle on things. It's interesting to see, to watch what happens on the model here with the snow squall over Pennsylvania. Skip ahead a couple of hours to 4 p.m. here, and notice what it's starting to do. It's starting to back this up, back to the west, and a little closer or even into our viewing area. Here's 5 o'clock this evening. Now, if this has the right idea, and I suspect it has a pretty good handle, this is going to start to cause some problems again, just in time for the afternoon and evening commute for a lot of people, and especially in Mercer County. Here's 5 p.m. simulated radar, that band of snow from Ashtabula County, clipping northeastern Trumbull, and then impacting a good section of Mercer County. So even though it's out to the east now, it is expected by our latest high-resolution model to back to the west. Here we go at 6 o'clock. It's even getting into central Trumbull County now, so maybe Route 11 is impacted. 7 o'clock this evening, this kind of main band of lake effect snow that has a fetch all the way up to Lake Huron will, if the model data comes up, it'll probably show it continuing to push or retreat, if you will, back from the east to the west. Looks like it doesn't want to come up. There it is. So here's 7 o'clock this evening, kind of a north-south orientation here. So anywhere where this band decides to meander, you got to watch out. So even though it's easy to let your guard down right now because things are pretty quiet across our viewing area early in the afternoon, late this afternoon and this evening, could still have some problems with this band if the latest model is to be believed. So I'll keep you updated, of course, on on social media with regards to that. Now, as we head through the overnight tonight, there'll be some lingering flurries, a snow shower here and there. Any accumulations outside of that main band will be pretty minor. Our attention, or the main story, if you will, overnight and into tomorrow morning will be the continuing intensification of the cold. Overnight lows tonight, probably pretty close to zero. Here's the latest GFS overnight lows. That's us down to about, 1 or 2 above. Look at Western Ohio and Indiana, maybe 10 below. Actual temperatures out there. Wind chills based on the GFS. First thing tomorrow morning, 14, 15, 16 below. Could be a reality here, maybe up to 25, perhaps 30 below. Out towards Lima and Dayton, Indianapolis. So the worst of it's out there. But even here, 15 below is nothing to sneeze at tomorrow morning. So I would expect, not that I know these things, but I would just anticipate perhaps some school delays again tomorrow morning as a result of the wind chills. A lot of people ask me about school closings and delays. Do they consult me? Do I have any hand in those decisions? Absolutely not. I have nothing to do with any school delays. No meteorologist usually does, but people tend to think we do. So sometimes I have to refute that. I have no prior knowledge of what the school districts are going to decide to do, and oftentimes I'm surprised at what they decide to do. When I think there'll be delays, sometimes there's not. When I think there won't be delays, sometimes there are. I'm not very good at predicting that. All right, Thursday is a relative lull in the action tomorrow. Here's the GFS model tomorrow afternoon. High pressure off to our south, a cold, cold day, and a brisk day as well. Any flurries will fade away pretty early and retreat off to the north, but I'll tell you, we might not get out of the single digits tomorrow. 10 or 11 at best probably. Wind chills probably stay below zero all day. Friday, or late Thursday night even, maybe even not that late, maybe even by midnight Thursday night, heading into Friday, here's our next Arctic front. This is the caboose in this train of Arctic fronts that is impacting our weather pattern. This will pivot through with more snow showers and maybe some local, modest accumulations late Thursday night into Friday, and it's going to reinforce the cold. But the weekend overall will be quiet aside from the cold temperatures. Saturday, maybe a flurry early, probably see some sun in the afternoon, and that's Saturday with high pressure over the Ohio River. Here's Sunday, another tranquil day, and the cold will start to ease by Sunday. And speaking of easing, the pattern is going to change fairly significantly, I think, next week and heading into next weekend. Here are the temperature anomalies across North America for the morning of the 17th through the 22nd, so a 5-day period. Notice lots of warm colors here. Doesn't mean it's a heat wave, but once we're done with Saturday, we are done, it looks like, with some pretty harsh midwinter cold for a while. It may return at the end of the month, but we're going to get at least a 5 to 10 day break, it looks like, starting early next week. All right, that's the Wednesday weather for Weather Geeks. Again, watch out for that band of snow this evening. I'll be posting radar snapshots all evening long on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll bring you your latest forecast, as always, tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11.